back. So, continuing with our inheritance examples. So, we just completed a case, an example where we inherited just the methods and nothing else. We did nothing else. Okay. So, now let's try something more. So, let's say do something more, right? So, that's the next example in the file I have shared with you. So, what does it do? My child class elephant. Elephant is child of animal, right? So, what did we do? We have an additional parameter here, okay? Every object has a first name, last name, age, and length of tusk. Okay, how do I handle first name, last name, and age? We handle it using the super. What is super? It is the parent class. So animal class, however it handles these, so we are going to basically construct an animal with an additional attribute, length of tusk. Okay, when we add a new attribute, this process is called augmentation. Augmentation means adding something to whatever you have. In the augmentation approach, you could add more parameters, more instance variables, or you could even add methods. All right. So right now we are only adding more instance variables. So that was elephant. So here is tortoise. Class tortoise is child of animal. In addition to having first name, last name, age, a tortoise has pattern on shell. Okay, so that part is your augmentation in this case. Likewise, for a mouse, you have first name, last name, age, and skin color. So, skin color for a mouse is an augmentation over an animal class. All right. By the way, a side note, now when I write here super, we are referring to the parent class, right? So, why is super used? You want to know how to use first name, last name, and age. You use it the way your super class would have used it. So, instead of super, here is another approach which is quite handy if you have several parents or grandparents and so on. You can simply state the name of the class you are going to use. So, animal, but because um, this creates an object, don't forget to write a self here. Okay, you are using the animal constructor, so write a self here. So instead of super, you could simply write animal with a self inside. Likewise, for a mouse, instead of just a super, you could write animal with a self inside. Okay, one time some people forget this, so I'm letting you know, don't forget the self. Now I'm going to construct elephant. So notice elephant gets first name, last name, age, and length of tusk. So suppose my elephant has tusks which are 10 inches long. All right. Tortoise, I'm going to construct a tortoise whose first name is Sage, last name Thinker. My tortoise is 80 years old and has a pattern on shell. So say hexagon is the pattern on my on the shell of the tortoise. Mouse. Mouse has first name Brave, last name Soul, is old 0.3 years old, and we want a skin color. Say my mouse's skin color is gray. Now when I run this, it worked well, right? So did I get I have created one animal. My animal is 80 years old. So you notice, even though I added some information here, it never showed up in my output. Look, nowhere does it say my elephant has 10-inch long tusk, or my tortoise has a hexagonal shape pattern on its shell, and so on and so forth. Why? Because print info did not get changed. We did not change print info. All right. So let's do that in the next video. Until then.